Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by Betting Pros. You know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really real, feeling real. So we're out from Virginia here at your service. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, I called it. I told you. I told you we're gonna have a 2-0 bounce back day on a short slate where I only have 2 plays. We're gonna sweep, and then we're gonna carry it over into the next day. Like, that's exactly what happened. Here's the recap. Oh, Ja Morant, rebounds and assists, never in doubt. The boy had a triple-double. Look, 12 had to remind a bunch of people tonight who 12 was. I almost forgot who 12 was, but he reminded me too. 12 is that guy. We're going to be betting 12 a lot this season. 12 is really, really like that. Did y'all see the alley oop from sitting down on the floor? Like, come on, 12. Hey, I'm telling y'all, 12 is really, really good at basketball, man. I'm a big fan of 12. Big, big, big fan of 12. I'm ready I'm ready. So that was the easy cash nonetheless. Even if you got 12 and a half on the rebounds and not 11 and a half, you still cash because the boy had a triple double. Like, come on. And then that was a first half cash, by the way. We was done in the first half. We had to wait till early part of the second half for Chris Paul over 7.5 assists to come through, but that came through too. He handled business against that Jazz team, and he had 7 assists at the half. Like, it was a pair of no sweat bets for a Thursday, and sometimes you got to really appreciate those. I know I do prefer a sweat every now and then because of just it gets your blood pumping and going, but you really, really got to take those no sweat bets for appreciation because they made it really, really easy on us last night. So here we are, another day, and I got 3 bets on Friday. Of course, I'm going to the prop bet cheat sheet for a couple of them, but I got a total that I like too. And so I think yeah, hopefully it just sticks to those 3. Maybe I add another one. We'll see, but probably just sticks to those 3. But before we get to all of that, I have to remind you that again, I don't do weekend shows of fast break bets. If you're just now tuning in, you just caught the last episode, because a lot of people just caught the last episode. They're like, "Oh, he hit. Let me come back and see another one." Well, I'm gonna let you know, if you try to come back here over the weekend to see an episode, you're not gonna see it. But what you're supposed to do is go to bettingpros.com/chat, hop in that Discord, and I will post my weekend plays in Discord for free. Just so you know, you're not paying for the Discord. I'm not asking for a subscription. All I ask is that you come in there for free and just join the family and the community. We got some people in there, some loyalists that, hey, they get in there and they start talking about their bets and spitballing ideas and cash together. So why don't you come in and do the same? Like, obviously, this is what you need to do. Join our Discord chat, bettingpros.com/Discord. Be a part of the family. Come get those extra picks. And yeah, it's all going to be a really good time. So make sure you get in that Discord, bettingpros.com/chat. All right. Let's see. Where do we want to start here today on the slate? Let's go to the prop bet cheat sheet and give out a couple of player props. First prop is going to be in the late game. I am not going in order, and you know what? That is fine. We'll start off with the late game slate. 9:30 p.m. on the East Coast, Denver Nuggets travel to Minnesota to play the Minnesota Timberwolves in what is a rematch of the Western Conference semifinals, I believe. Minnesota laying 4 here, 219.5 is the total injury. And yeah, so here's the big thing for me before I get to the player and all these are maybe a flag for that, maybe not, but the Nuggets don't seem to be good right now. They are really, really regretting the personnel changes that they made to this group. I think they're missing Bruce Brown heavily. I think they're missing KCP heavily. And this team just doesn't look good. They're horrible defensively. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna back up Mr. Old Reliable, very, very steady and consistent. He doesn't have to go over there and take a game over, but he can always add to a game. That's Mr. Mike Conley. Points, rebounds, and assist line currently sitting at 16.5. Get to that prop bet cheat sheet, and they love Mike Conley today. They give him a 5-star bet rating with a 71% cover probability. And Betting Pros on the prop bet analyzer has him projected to score 19.8 points, rebounds, and assists. So, looking here at the analyzer, Mr. Mike Conley's been over this line in 10 of his last 15 games. If we go and we filter that to when he played Denver, Mike Conley has been over a points, rebounds, and assist line last year in 9 of the 10 games he played the Denver Nuggets. 9 out of 10, 90%. I mean, if you were hitting 90% of any of your bets, you're a millionaire. You're rich. 90% last season, he's gone over this line. You look at what he's doing this season, and he's 2-2 to the line. But after a slow start to the season, he's picked it up the last 2 games against the Raptors and the Mavericks, both at home. Guess what? Mr. Mike Conley is at home for this game as well. Line currently sitting there at 16.5. I think the Nuggets are horrible defensively. I think Mike Conley is going to help run the offense, be able to take advantage of poor defense by racking up assists. He's a pretty solid rebounder. And I know Mike Conley is good for a couple of threes and scoring the basketball too. 16.5 feels like a very, very low line for Mike Conley to be over it at 9 of the last 10 versus this group. I'm going to back it again here. Give me Mike Conley. Points, rebounds, and assists over 16.5. That is play number one. Thank you again to the Betting Pros app and that prop bet cheat sheet. All right, let's get over to play number two. In play number two, we are going with Mr. Demar DeRozan here because DeMar DeRozan is getting a plus matchup as the Sacramento Kings are going on the road to go play the Atlanta Hawks. Kings laying 6.5, 237.5 is the total here. I mean, 237.5, that says it all. They're expecting points, 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 points to be had here in this game. And I do too, because I think the Hawks are a horrible defensive group. Quinn Snyder groups are typically bad defensive groups, and it's been a while since he had a really good defensive team, but it definitely hasn't been when he's been coaching the Atlanta Hawks. They've been horrible. And then to add on to all of that, they're going to be missing their top 2 defenders in DeAndre Hunter and Dyson Daniels. This team is going to run on pace. They're not going to play any defense, and they're going to try to outscore the Sacramento Kings the entire game. So how I'm going to take advantage is I'm going to take DeMar DeRozan over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. If we look at this, Mr. DeMar DeRozan, thank you to the prop bet cheat sheet for another suggestion. Thank you to the prop bet analyzer for confirming my suggestion because they have him projected to score 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You look at what Mr. DeMar DeRozan's done over this season, and he's been over in 2 of 4 this season, but he's been really close. He had 30 points, rebounds, and assists against the Trailblazers. His line was 30.5. He came a little bit short, but he was right there on the money. But 36 against the Timberwolves, 32 against the Jazz, only 26 in that game against the Lakers here. But looking here, he's hit it in 12 of his last 15 games. He has hit a over of 30.5 on his points, rebounds, and assists. Looking at the Atlanta Hawks, 4-4. In his last 4 games against the Hawks, he's gone over this line. This is a good matchup. There's nobody on the other side that I think can guard him because their 2 best defenders and the wings that probably would be covering him are out of the game. And so I don't think they have any really other solid options other than trying to throw double teams at him and good luck because you have a whole bunch of other options on this Sacramento Kings team that are going to light you up. I think DeMar DeRozan is going to have a great day. We backed him the other day with his rebounds and assists, so you should know that he does a good job of stacking up rebounds and assists, maybe not going too far on that, but he adds that to his total. I can see him having some very easily 21 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds in this game. So yeah, I love DeMar DeRozan. I think this is a really good spot for him. Give me DeMar DeRozan over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That is play number 2. And to close out the slate, we're going to be looking at the Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. Brooklyn laying 1.5. That is comical. 226 is the total here. I really, 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 really want to tell you to take the Bulls here because there's no reason the Nets should be a favorite to anybody ever. However, I'm not going to do that because the Bulls have given me concern on the road this season. Nonetheless, they are 2-1 on the road, straight up. However, look at the points that they have given up on the road this season. First game of the season, they gave up 123 to the New Orleans Pelicans. As we can all see, that kind of looks really, really bad right now. A game after that, they gave up 122 in a win against the Milwaukee Bucks. And then the game after that, they gave up 123 in a win against the the Memphis Grizzlies, where they actually had to fight back from being down 20 in that game. In fact, they were down 20 in their last 2 games and had to fight back to get the win. So, nah, I don't think I want to back them on the spread right now. I don't know exactly who this Bulls team is, but what I do know is that they played some pretty bad defense on the road this season thus far. Nonetheless, the Brooklyn Nets have not looked good defensively, I don't think, at all this season. Maybe in the last game and against the Memphis Grizzlies, you could say that they only gave up 106, but I think that was more about the Memphis Grizzlies really just playing down to the Brooklyn Nets more than the Brooklyn Nets playing up. But nonetheless, I don't think this Brooklyn team is that good defensively. They're going to be without Ben Simmons this game, who I would say is probably one of their better defenders. You can at least give him that. If you're going to give him a lot of things, you can at least say that Ben Simmons is a pretty solid defender. So I don't really like that spot for them. I think that this Bulls team can put up points. You have a Brooklyn Nets team who is also towards the bottom of the league in opponents' 3-point percentage allowed. And if you allow Zach Levine, Kobe White, DeSomu, like all of these guys to just be able to shoot threes and put up threes on you, this Bulls team is going to kill you, like absolutely destroy you. I think the Bulls have looked very, very solid offensively to start the season. And I think that the Brooklyn Nets have played up better, but defensively, I still have questions. I already told you my questions about the Chicago Bulls on the road. So with the defensive questions I have and with the integrity that both of these two teams are still out there really trying and on offense don't look horrible, 226 feels like this is rather low. It feels like this should be in the 230s and they're just not caught up to the number yet. I like the over 226 for the Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets in this game. I think we're going to see points, points, points. I do expect to see a Bulls win. However, the road defense for the Bulls concerns me. So I'm going to just back the over. Give me the over 226. So with that, those are your 3 plays. We have over 226 in Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets game. We have DeMar DeRozan over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And we have Mike Conley over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Hey, make sure you go ahead and give me a quick review, bettingpros.com/fast. Drop that review in. And hey, it's at really real underscore underscore. That is my X handle. Give us a follow on X at Betting Pros and on TikTok at Betting Pros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/Betting Pros. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. If you are listening to this podcast, you should be subscribed. Drop a like, drop your favorite bets in the comment section. We're going to be shouting those out. We're going to be showing you all love. Keep dropping those favorite bets in the comment section. Appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody that listens to this podcast. And with that, That's really it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna end like this. We are out of here.